So the Swiss in fine form here. A couple of flags in the crowd. And I think you can hear the British fans are here as well. Let's go down to the field of play for the athlete introductions.
On target number 1, representing Switzerland, Florian Faber. Und Thomas Rufer. On target number 2, representing Great Britain, Tom Hall. Patrick Houston. And Alex Weiss. The line judge for this match is Manuel Acasio.
So there we have it, the athlete introductions done. It was nice to see that both teams turning to each other and wishing each other luck. That's not usual. You wouldn't see two football teams doing that.
Yeah, actually I don't know if they do that, but in archery it's a very normal thing to do, and it's good sportsmanship, I think, if you also wish your opponent a bit of luck.
Well, good luck to both of them. Switzerland facing Great Britain for the Recurve men's team bronze medal match, and Switzerland will get us underway.
So although Switzerland might not be the highest ranked team and statistically speaking very well the underdog in this match, they have a really good development and education system over there. So I think there's some products of that here. Yeah, I know at least from Florian and from Thomas that they can shoot really well if in the right circumstances. So this might turn out to be a very interesting match.
That's a good start from Great Britain. Houston going into the centre of the target to get things underway. Settles the confidence, doesn't it? Alex Wise up next.
Yeah, and it seems like it's maybe the difference in draw weight that the women and the men have, but it seems like the men don't experience the wind as much as we've seen in the previous matches.
What a start from Great Britain there. 999, not bad for Switzerland, but they've bettered it by 2.
Yeah, Thomas is known for not always having the most crisp shots, but he's quite good at hitting the middle. Right on cue. But his release often looks a bit wild, but I think it must feel different for him than it looks for us. This is a really good match right off the bat.
I was just about to say, we've just got a match on our hands here. The Swiss left with their 9s early on, but now in the centre of the target. Didn't look too happy with that, just drifting off to the left again, but a better finish for Switzerland and setting a target for Great Britain that isn't perhaps as simple as it may look.
No, a 56 is actually a really decent score, especially for the first end of the match. But Great Britain does have a little bit of an advantage in the first 3 arrows. As Patrick has another quite long hold, but not worryingly long. He seems to still be in control, even though the shot might be longer than ideal. So if Tom can just replicate his first shot even remotely close, then yeah, he gets a good chance of taking this set.
Yeah, Tom Hall anchoring for Great Britain has a chance here. It needs to hit the middle. 9 means that we're all square at 56 points apiece, and it means that we have a very evenly balanced matchup here. You wouldn't really say that Great Britain have either improved through the set or got worse, but you definitely say the Swiss have improved.
Well, yes and no. I think on the one side they have obviously improved since they've shot 2 points more in the second half of the set, but the first 3 were all well within the gold and grouped quite well, so they might have just given their sides a couple clicks, which is just enough to hit some 10s, and I think both teams can have a bit of confidence to build on from this first set, because they both shot a good end with everything in the gold, so there's nothing to worry about on both ends.
Take a look at the British team, seeming very comfortable with each other, having a little bit of a laugh and a joke in between the sets to keep themselves calm. It's a sort of a coping mechanism, right?
Yeah, you try to be as comfortable as possible on the podium, while also it's fine to give in a little bit to the nerves that you're feeling. So it's better to be a bit happy, a bit goofing around, than to try to be very serious and try to hide and block your feelings. So I think they're doing well in that aspect.
Yeah, just dialing down the pressure in the break. Perhaps not the smoothest of looks, but he rode it out.
Yeah, and he hit pretty much hit the spider, so I think he's allowed.
Now, quiet before the storm. Second set here in this bronze medal match. Recurve men's team competition. Switzerland facing Great Britain. All square, Switzerland shoot first.
Yeah, in that shot, he knew that I was going to go to the left. He was throwing his bow arm to the right to hopefully correct it, but maybe a bit too late.
9.
I really enjoy Chaban's technique. It looks really smooth. Although he's left-handed, so we don't get the best angle of it. It looks like he's really methodical and really smooth through the clicker.
Father there, finishing things off for Switzerland. We switch to Great Britain's first rotation. Houston shooting first.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a wobble right before he managed to get it through the clicker, but it looked like he recovered, but maybe it was just a little bit too much of a wobble to still get back from it.
Very vocal, Patrick Houston. Tom Hall, though, string on his bow to indicate what's going on with the wind, at least on the shooting line. He puts it into the 10 as well.
Yeah, that was a much better shot than the last one. I think he felt a bit more in control over there. And now we can see that technique that I was talking about. Getting through that clicker really smoothly.
9.
Really clean release, and he just lets that bow jump in his hand in a very, it just looks pleasing to me.
Another 9. 52.
Well, this is a very gettable target for Great Britain. a 52 set. Can they steal the lead here?
A bit of bow quando there.
Well, life a little easier for Tom Hall here. 5 to share the points anymore, and Great Britain will take the lead. Well, it drops it into the 8, so not the most convincing finish, but it is enough for Great Britain to take the 2 points in the second set and have a halfway point lead of 3 sets to 1.
Yeah, if you shoot an 8, you might as well do it when you need a 5.
That's a very good way of looking at it. Always looking at the bright side. You're listening to the expert opinion of Chef Vandenberg.
Here you can see that the archers are checking the arrows, so they get the arrows back from the runner, which has received the arrows from the agent who's pulled the arrows out of the target. So it goes from person to person, and then you end up back with your own arrows, and you always want to check if your nocks are still in good shape, if your vanes haven't been damaged, if the shaft is still okay. Because if, for instance, a vane is loose, you can shoot and miss, and you want to prevent that at all costs, and it's an easy thing to do. Only takes a couple seconds, but it can save you a match.
So those of you new and don't know what a vane and a knock is, well, the knock is a little etched out, but right at the back end of the arrow that fits into the string, so grips around the string. And vanes are the feathers, I think that's probably the best way of describing them, that are now actually sort of a composite plastic that are fitted onto the end of the arrows.
Yeah, and typically in recurve archery, those vanes have a certain twist in it, so that if you shoot the arrow, it will start turning really fast, which makes it easier for the arrow to correct after the bit of fishtailing it does in the beginning of the flight. So yeah, there's a lot of personal touches you can give there. You can put it on different angles, you can take different size vanes, and everybody has their own preference.
Start of the third set. Big flinch there.
Whoa, that's not bad after such a flinch. And a very visible look of relief on his face.
Yes, even able to afford himself a little chuckle. The pleasing action of Schabin results in a 10. Ooh, Switzerland having a little fight back here in this third set.
Yeah, well, it's all you can do, really. You need to get back into this match, because if Great Britain wins this set, the match is over. So they will have to do something. 28 is a relatively good start for that.
Perhaps the first time Great Britain are going to feel the pressure of the scoreline, if indeed they are even looking at what the Swiss do.
So it's interesting to see how Patrick is talking Alex through his shot and continuously is talking to him during the shot. I know from experience some people like that and some people hate it. So they must have done some practice to establish if it works for them or not, and what to say. So it's one of those things that in practice you can discuss, like, okay, I would like to hear this when I'm on the line, or I'm struggling with this, can you please remind me of this when I'm standing on the line.
Yeah, you're right, it's different strokes to different folks, isn't it? Some of the very top archers absolutely love being talked to right the way through. I'm thinking about the American team, for example. They're always talking. Whereas as you can see, Switzerland, it's quiet.
Yeah, and then quite often it's also nice to hear something right before you step onto the line for your shot, so that you have a reminder. But then to just being able to make your own shot when you're on the line.
And another 9.
So they have 2 really close to the 10, but they're definitely 9s, which is a bit unlucky. But I think a 56 might give them good chances of some set points here.
Yeah, I think you're right. Can only afford to drop 1 point from Great Britain here to share the points. So that means the set already has gone to Switzerland. It will be 3-3 at the end of this, but Alex Wise and Tom Hall will want to get through their shots in preparation for what will be a 4th set. And that's not a bad result. And the 21-year-old, the youngest member of the team, is replaced now by the eldest at 31, Tom Hall.
That's
Just outside of the 9, but it was a good arrow to know what's up on the field. I think he just accepted the fact that it wasn't in the middle and gained some information from it.
Well, for the neutral, you would say, well, this is a very exciting prospect here. We've got a 4th set, both teams tied at 3 apiece. Great Britain started fast. They've kind of levelled off. They haven't necessarily dipped so much, maybe a tiny bit in terms of the scoreline. Switzerland have just progressed bit by bit to this stage.
Yeah, although I think Switzerland had a very good first end, and in the second end they had a bit of a drop off. But now they're back up to speed, so my gut feel says that the momentum is at Switzerland's target, but yeah, it's also quite easy to flip, as we've seen this weekend. Yeah.
Within this match, yes.
Yeah, also, yeah.
But at the moment, I mean, that last set from Great Britain, they've gone, well, look at those raw scoreline, 56, 55, 53. That journey, that travelling direction, potentially offers itself a glimmer of hope for the Swiss team.
Yeah. Although the skiing ramp also goes down and then up again, so.
What goes down must come up. Is that the saying?
Yeah, maybe.
Bryony Kitten there in the crowd, having had a fantastic season herself already, cheering on the her British teammates. Three apiece after 3 sets between Switzerland and Great Britain for the Recurve men's team bronze medal here in Munich at the 2022 European Championships. It's the final regulation set. Who can eke out the lead? Who can put the pressure on Switzerland to shoot first?
That's a really good start. It was a pretty long hold, and I think he kind of hoped it to go off a bit sooner, but yeah, he managed to get it into the 10, so no worries there. So confident. I'm very impressed by Chabin. I think he's really outdoing himself, outshooting himself right here.
Hello.
Yeah.
Where did this come from? Switzerland shooting 310s, and as Chef Vandenberg says, very confident in their look. Now, what will this do to Houston and co of Great Britain?
Yeah, it's a good shot, but it's just like maybe 1.5 centimeters too high, which seems like miles from where we're sitting, but if you're standing on the line, it's like a millimeter too high, and it's out of the 10. So. again, they get the 3 arrows into the gold. It's not bad, but they're just shooting against a Swiss team that is on fire. They just shot 3 10s. They have a 3-point lead after this first half of the set.
Yeah, just remember that whoever gets the points, whoever gets the highest cumulative score over these 6 arrows is going to be standing on the European Championship podium in bronze medal position.
Yeah.
Switzerland are making this very tricky for Great Britain. A bit of Bo Quando, he knew that one was going left.
The first really real sign of nerves that I've seen from him. And Florian, he's always so chill, so I think that he might be able to do this. And it just etches it out of the 10.
Well, look at this. It now means that Great Britain, well, they cannot afford to drop a single point over these last 3 arrows. They need 3 10s, otherwise Switzerland have got bronze here. That's the first one. 1 out of 3 for Great Britain done. Over to Alex Wise now. Also needs a 10.
And the pressure is immense now. You need to shoot a 10. You know you need to shoot a 10.
And that's the European medal gone for Great Britain. But what a performance from this Swiss team. What a performance indeed. You do have to feel for Tom Hall here. He's going through his process. He's being methodical. He's going to release that last arrow. He's going to put it into the 9. It's not a bad score at all, 55, but it's not enough. The Swiss have come from behind against Great Britain. The slight underdogs, you have to say, well, they started really well, had a dip in the second, and then they've just been tough and determined through the third to draw level. And then in the 4th set, well, they were just magic and deserve this bronze medal.